Well, hello and welcome to the first edition of the Nate Moore Show for the 2023 season. Our show is once again being brought to you by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Dave Sheets. With me is the head coach of the Massillon Tigers, Nate Moore. Nate, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks.
Coach, your Tigers opened the new season with a 28-17 win over Valdosta, Georgia last Friday night. We'll talk much more about this game a little bit later in the show. I first want to ask you about your summer practices and the two scrimmages prior to the first game. Tell us about the progress your team made leading up to last week's opener.
We had a great summer. We feel good about our group of kids. They work hard. And we had two good scrimmages. We scrimmaged at Avon and at Moeller and did well in both of them.
Very good. Now, each year I know you count on your upperclassmen, especially your seniors, to lead the younger guys. Have you gotten that leadership that I know you count on?
I mean, leadership is always in development. So I think that stands true this year. I think that we're developing some leadership, but certainly not a finished product.
Your assistant coaches play a big part in the success of the team each year. Can you tell us who returns and who is new for this 2023 season?
For the coaches?
Sure.
Let's see. Some guys moved around different positions. Coach Joey Studer is now working with the defensive line. Coach Dave Weber is now working with the outside linebackers. Coach Jason Jarvis is now working with our tight ends and fullbacks and is coordinating our special teams again. Mm-hmm. And then Coach Chip Robinson moved from tight ends and fullbacks to assistant offensive line. Coach Craig McConnell has at least temporarily resigned from coaching. He's now, he has been assistant principal at the high school, and those are two huge jobs. And I know it was a really tough decision to make, but he's going to step away from coaching, for at least the time being, and just focus on being a great principal here at the high school. If I missed anybody, I'm not sure. Let's go with that.
Okay, sounds good. And as an independent, we know how difficult it can be filling out the schedule each year. As you put a schedule together, what considerations do you make as you seek opponents for your team?
Number one is, do they want to play us? That's first. Mm-hmm. Number two is, we're always trying to add as many home games to the schedule as we can. And then the best competition that we can play. There's probably in I don't know if it's necessarily in that order, but those are the three main ones.
Okay. Well, thanks, Coach. And in a moment, we'll talk with a Tiger player, but first this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
There was a time when 10 miles to the gallon was acceptable. Today's 40-plus mile per gallon cars weren't even in the rearview mirror back then. Of course, this Lennox air conditioner wasn't on the radar either. It's solar ready, the quietest, most energy-efficient air conditioner you can own. It's time to live in the now.
Call Reliable Heating and Cooling for the most advanced technology in heating and air conditioning. When you're ready to live in the now, call Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Thank you, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Joining me now is senior linebacker and running back Dorian Pringle. Dorian, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you with us. First of all, congratulations on a great win last week. Can you describe for us what it was like running onto the field before the kickoff?
It was pretty exciting, actually, because a lot of fans there, week one, it's always want to start off with a big bang.
Mm-hmm. As you were growing up, do you remember when you first started playing football and who taught you the game?
Yeah, when I first started, I played at Copley,
mm-hmm.
and it was youth. I think my first year was actually second grade. Mm-hmm. And that was my first day of contact, actually. Mm-hmm. So a little scared. My dad taught me how to play, though.
Okay.
For sure.
Now, you went through the recruiting process
mm-hmm.
A lot, especially kind of ended up this summer. You made a decision on where you wanted to continue with your football career after high school. Tell us about that.
Well, it was pretty exciting, actually, to end my recruiting process. Kind of stressful through the whole thing. I ended up committed to BG. So I'm really happy about that.
What was it about Bowling Green that you liked?
Well, it made me feel like home. All the coaches, I loved them, the whole facility. I liked it. So.
When did the recruiting process start for you?
I think BG was actually my first offer.
Okay.
So I got that in like end of the season, so like January, kind of. So.
And they stuck with you the whole time?
Yep. Kept talking to me, kept chopping it up, and just became closer and closer. So.
Okay. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's special for sure. Because of your experience, you're obviously seen as a leader on this team. How would you describe the way that you lead?
I lead in different ways. Sometimes vocal, but by example also too. So like if people see me doing the right thing, they'll lead, they follow, and do the right thing as well.
Do you see that your teammates are wanting you to lead?
Yeah, sometimes like when stuff gets hard, you know you have to step out as a leader and motivate everybody to keep going.
Good. Tell us who your linebackers coach is and your running backs coach, and what are they like?
Coach Lino, that's my linebacker coach, Coach Lino. He's kind of, at practice, he's full of energy, gets mad kind of sometimes we're not doing the right thing, but also picks us up. He just tells us everything, like, great coach, by the way. So, and my running back coach is Coach McGuire. Kind of laid back sometimes, but when he really gets it going, he did a lot for our running backs last year and this year too, so.
Okay. I always like to ask the players if they have a nickname. Do you have a nickname?
Yeah, everybody really calls me by my initials, DP.
Okay.
So.
All right, good. Now you have the Glen Oak Golden Eagles this Friday night. From a linebacker standpoint, what are you looking at when you see their offense?
Well, I think their offense, they're okay. They're really decent. Their line's not as big as like teams will play this season.
Okay.
So we're focused more on like filling my gaps and just staying gap sound, making tackles in space. They have pretty fast guys on the edge.
And then as a running back, when you look at their defense, what do you see?
I see linebackers coming down, so I just want to break as much tackles as I can. My line makes perfect holes for me all the time, so I just run through my gaps and just stay sound.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you.
I want to thank Dorian Pringle for joining us on the show this week. Coach Moore will rejoin us after we take this time out on the Nate Moore Show.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
Cut, we got it.
And for every moment like this, there's a crew of people using STEM to bring the dead to life.
We had 30 minutes to make one of Norman Reedus' outfits. Look 7 years old. When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that could be walked through in a VR headset. It looked like you were actually standing in the room.
There's so much technology involved in directing. We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker horde.
That idea became this design, which turned into this set, and that costume worn by that walker who was having a really bad day. STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
And welcome back to the Nate Moore Show. Coach, we just heard from senior linebacker and running back Dorian Pringle. What does Dorian bring to your team both on and off the field?
I mean, Dorian's a fantastic football player. I mean, one of the best players that I've ever been around. And I think what really separates him from other really good players is level of physicality. He's extremely physical, and that's both sides of the ball. It's at linebacker. It's when he's at running back, and then he's a great kid. To know Dorian is to like him. Great personality. Is a good teammate. Is kind to the people around him. Very respectful. Does great in school. Great grades. He's a very well-rounded young man.
I know we didn't have the opportunity to have a show last week before the Valdosta game. There was certainly a lot of hype around the game, and you came out with a big victory last week. How did you go about, you and your coaches, keeping your guys focused on just the game and getting them ready for that moment at kickoff?
I mean, that's what we do. It's like, our entire focus all the time, and especially that week, when we're at camp, we're really not focused so much on Valdosta as we are on just self-improvement. But once we turn the page on the scrimmage season, we're working on the Valdosta game, and similar to week 10, week 1 especially, there's a lot of other things going on, the downtown rally and whatnot, and everybody's excited. We just try to keep the kids on the task at hand all the time, right? No matter what the focus is in that point in the season or the off season. We want to be a team that we are where our feet are. We're not looking behind us. We're not looking in front of us. We're right here, right now. Right now we're just worried about week 2. We'll talk about Valdosta because you want to talk about Valdosta, but our focus is we've already turned the page. We're focused on week 2, and that's who we try to be all the time.
Another thing I've noticed over the years since you've been here, your teams, if you fall behind early, your team never seems to panic. You have to coach that in your kids, don't you?
It's not our goal to start games down by 2 touchdowns, contrary to popular belief, probably. But I mean, it's similar to the last answer. It's that level of adversity is what we're preparing our kids for all the time. It's what we do all off season. We try to put the kids in really tough positions and see how they respond, and if they respond the way we want, then great. We encourage and reinforce that. If they don't, then we correct them and coach them up. And because that's what sports are an extension of the classroom. High school athletics are, and our role is developing the person. That's what athletics do. That's why there's value to it. And is watching football game fun, especially at Massillon. Like, there's no doubt, like, it's fun for the fans, and the kids enjoy playing, but it's a tool to develop people. And when we go down by 2 scores, that's when the truth comes out, and how you respond to that situation is going to be how you're going to respond. When you're 35 years old and something terrible happens in your life, but you've got to still get up the next day and move forward and take care of your family and do all those things. So that's it's what we try to do here.
As we turn the page, you face Glen Oak, a team you've played quite a few years in a row now. Tell us about their overall program, and overall, what kind of challenges do they bring here?
I think they're once again on the upswing. Coach Garcia, I think this is his 3rd year back in the head coach's seat. They're over there at Glen Oak, and they've gotten better every year. Had a great week 1 victory against a team from Cincinnati. They've got some really talented players and skill positions. They're tough and gritty up front on the offensive and defensive line. I think they're going to take the next step forward this year.
Focusing offensively, what formations do they like to run out of, and who are some of the people that jumped out on film?
There are multiple personnel, multiple formation, shotgun offense, and they'll go anywhere from 12 personnel out to 10 personnel, and everything in between. So you've got multiple tight end and fullback looks that you have to prepare for, and then running games similar to us as far as being a heavy gap scheme team. And their quarterback threw 4 touchdowns last week, so they've got a good player back there. But it's going to be multiple. Number 6, the Burke kid is their most dynamic player. He'll play some receiver. He'll play some running back as well.
And then on defense, what will they show you there?
Well, they're very similar to us defensively. Also, the same basic structure with the like a 3-4-4-2 type of look. with the key flex player being the hybrid backside, outside linebacker, defensive end guy. Looks like they probably play a little bit more 4 down than we do. We play some 4 down, but we play a lot of 3 down. But same basic structure. It looks like they want to be too high in the secondary. Though they're multiple in their coverages, but they want to be too high with 2 safeties back, and so very similar to us.
All right. Well, best of luck on Friday against Glen Oak.
Thank you very much.
I want to thank Coach Nate Moore for joining us, along with senior linebacker and running back Dorian Pringle on the Nate Moore Show this week. Brought to you all season long by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm Dave Sheets. Thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, go Tigers.
Hello, and welcome to the Stark County Humane Society. Today we're going to give you a few pointers when considering adopting a new furry friend. All animals here at the Stark County Humane Society are spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, and if old enough, heartworm tested for our canine friends. Adopters will receive a free exam within 2 weeks of adoption at local veterinarian hospitals. We encourage all adopters to take full advantage of this. A one-time adoption fee is required for your new furry friend. When you adopt, you get an awesome adoption packet that includes treats for your new fur baby and savings for you. But this is not where the cost of adoption stops. Did you know the average cost of an animal like a new puppy or kitten can cost up to $500 annually? This includes annual veterinarian visits, preventative care, and everyday supplies like crate, litter, food, toys. But I hope this doesn't scare you away. Adopting an animal is a huge responsibility and a commitment. Please take the time to consider the cost of adopting a new pet into your family today. I hope to see you soon at the Stark County Humane Society. Please visit our website or visit us on social media for more information.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Hi, and welcome to the first edition of Swing for the 2023 season. Our show features Tiger Swing Band Director Jason Neel. We're on the air with you every Wednesday night following the Nate Moore Show. Swing is once again being brought to you this season by Johnny's Music Shop. I'm your host, Dave Sheets, and with me is Jason Neel. Welcome to the show, Jason.
Glad to be here.
Back for another year.
That's right.
Before we discuss your first halftime performance last week at the Valdosta game, let's go back and talk about all the rehearsals leading up to the start of school this past summer.
Well, we started with our squad leaders on July 10th, and then we brought the entire band in on July 13th. And we've been doing some two-a-days in there, and just about every day from then on. Roughly five or 6 weeks of preparation for that first game, but also getting us a good foundation for the season, because we've got 8 home games this year to do. So we had a busy summer, and good group of kids this year. And so yeah, summer's been busy.
This year marks the 85th season of the Tiger Swing Band. On a personal level, how exciting is that milestone for you?
It's very exciting. I was here for the 70th anniversary, and now we're at 85. So it's cool to see the history of the band continue to develop, and I feel like I've been blessed and honored to be a part of this tradition for this is my 18th year now. So 85 is a nice number. We're trying to get our biggest alumni band we've ever had for this celebration coming up.
Your band has had at least 2 public appearances before the first game last week. Tell us more about the Hall of Fame Parade and the Cuyahoga Falls Band Show, and if you had any other appearances.
Well, those are our 2 full band appearances. I guess you could say we had a preview night for our parents in the stadium the week before the first game. But we did march in the Hall of Fame Parade. We had a good parade this year. I was pleased with our performance. Not a lot of units ahead of us slowing us down, so we were able to kind of have continuous forward motion. That's always a good thing in a parade, especially of that length. And then the Cuyahoga Falls show, we got rained out, and so we performed our shows for one another in the gym, in their gymnasium over there. So we didn't get a full field performance before game 1, which was interesting, but we did get out in front of a crowd and perform our music and get in uniform and go through the procedure of traveling as a band. So it was kind of a good tune-up for us. But the other performances we've had have been like the drum line that did the community parade, and our front rank majorettes and drum major and Obie. They've been all over doing, performances at Gorell and downtown and the Fun Fest and things like that. So we've been out and around and excited to get the field performances underway.
So let's talk about your halftime show at last week's Valdosta game. It certainly wasn't a typical first game band show for your marchers, was it?
That is correct. We did a salute to Sammy Nestico, and that took on more than I had even anticipated at the time. We were invited to be part of a documentary that's coming up here in the next year, I think, where Sammy Nestico, who passed away in 2021, a woman in California who's done a lot of documentary features, is doing a film on his life. And he had seen and heard our band and thought we would be a good group to record a number. It's never been performed before, and that was our finale for the show on Friday night. And so I had offered, hey, we'll just do a lot of swing numbers by Sammy Nestico, and she was thrilled that we would do that and wanted to come out and film our whole thing. So we had a film crew just there for the band on Friday. And so we've been putting a lot of work into show 1, and that was our one and only performance of it, but hopefully it's been documented well, and we may be in some upcoming documentary film coming up soon.
How did your band members, especially your underclassmen, react to all the extra people around and extra cameras and things like that?
I assume they were pretty nervous at times, but I think they really responded well in terms of when the camera's on, you're going to give just a little bit more extra effort, especially when you know that. So we had cameras at our practice even that day. So there was just a level of effort that was even a little bit more than you'd have for a regular practice. So I think it helped us in the long run, and I thought the kids responded really well.
We'll have more with Mr. Neel here on Swing, but first this word from Johnny's Music Shop.
Band season starts here at Johnny's Music Shop, located at 2492 Lincoln Way East, Massillon, Ohio. Enjoy our name brand band instrument rentals with no credit checks and our large selection of woodwind, brass, string, percussion accessories, and band books. Get signed up today for private lessons with any of our knowledgeable instructors, and if you're in need of a fix, all repairs are done here locally in-house. Give us a call at 330-832-3000 and come be a part of our musical family.
Thank you, Johnny's Music Shop, and welcome back to Swing. Jason Neel, our guest again, and besides the upcoming football games, what other dates does your band have on the calendar over the next couple of weeks?
Well, these next few weeks, we just have football games, but our big date that you would consider is September 7th. We're going to have our alumni rehearsal for our big 85th anniversary celebration on September 8th. So our registration closes this week. We're getting close to 200 alumni who are signed up. So that I think that will be our biggest alumni band ever. So anybody who's watching out there, August 27th is when our registration closes. We've been really pushing to try to get as many people to come out and be a part of this this show on September 8th. So we're having a big practice with the combined bands the evening of the 7th, and then a dinner on the 8th before the game, and kind of a reunion of celebration of 85 years of swing.
That's excellent. Now, every year on the first show here, we like to recognize the other adults who assist you with the band. Tell us more about this year's staff.
Well, I'm glad you do that, because I couldn't do this by myself, that's for sure. And I have a great staff. Jen Smith-Heisler is the assistant director here at the high school and for the swing band as well. And she marched in the Tiger Swing Band here, and I couldn't ask for a better partner to be team teaching with here at the high school. But we have 3 middle school directors, Chris Nussbaum, who's also our percussion instructor, and he's been here for many years. And Katie Catalfina is back in her 2nd year, and we just hired a new band director to do our beginning bands, and she's assisting with the swing band as well. Her name is Emily Butts. She's from Kent State University, and she's done a great job so far this summer. We're really happy to have her on staff. Our front rank, our majorettes, drum major Obi, is led by Carla Marsh, who is also a Tiger Swing Band member, was a majorette here back in the day. And then I have a student teacher this year from the University of Akron. His name is Jensen Kozar. So got a great staff. And then Bob Wenzel's been our announcer. This is his 47th season as the voice of the Tiger Swing Band. So glad to have Bob. I think he's aiming for 50.
Yeah.
So it's been amazing. If you think about 85 years, Bob's been around for over half of that, right, as the announcer. So it's great to have that historical perspective and resource and experience with our staff.
Due to the building of the new elementary school on the land east of Paul Brown Tiger Stadium, the band lost its longtime practice field. On top of that, the old Armory building, which the band used, was torn down as well. How has the band adjusted to not having these 2 facilities to work with?
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a process that we started in about November when the season ended, of just moving everything out of the Armory and rearranging every square inch of everything we have at the high school. We've been given some new classroom space to have a new uniform room and a percussion room and a booster room to kind of make up for some of the space we lost at the Armory. But we're still in the process of putting things where they need to go. So it's even ongoing, just rearranging all the instruments that we have. And so the adjustment has been considerable. Right now we're practicing either in the indoor field or on the stadium field every day. Okay. Wherever the team is not, we've been kind of sharing very well. I want to thank Coach Moore for that. He's been great and very supportive of the band and what we're doing, and understands what we're going through. And I think the kids have adapted well overall. We've been using the cafeteria as our space before the games to get ready, and Friday night we marched through the school and out the indoor field, and it was really kind of a cool experience to get all the drums going in the hallways of the school and marching around in there. So we lost some things, but we also gained some things, and we have some new traditions we've started, and I'm liking it so far. So obviously anytime you change, it's difficult, but I think the kids have adapted well.
Right. Progress doesn't come without some pain, right?
Correct.
And finally, give us the rundown for this Friday night's halftime show when our Tigers take on Glen Oak.
So week 2, we've got 2 things going on. We're going to do a Wordle-themed show. If anybody plays Wordle, it's a 5-letter game that you have to guess the word, and so we're going to do songs that have 5 words or 5 letters in their title. Okay. And so we're going to do a medley of 5 different songs with 5 words in the title, and the audience is going to have to guess before we spell out the word to see if they can guess the song we're playing. Okay. So I'm not going to tell you the songs. But then we're actually doing, for Military Appreciation Night, we're going to do a combined number with Glen Oaks Band. Oh, nice. to finish the show. So we're excited to combine 2 great bands in Stark County together for God Bless the USA. So.
That's excellent. Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Neel, and that will do it for this first edition of Swing for the 2023 season. Once again, Swing being brought to you by our good friends at Johnny's Music Shop. And for Jason Neel, I'm your host, Dave Sheets. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.
Most of us are engaged with the internet in one way or another every day. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, engaged. MCTV cares about keeping you engaged, no matter what's thrown your way. Need an upgrade? Choose from a range of reliable options, including whole home Wi-Fi. MCTV. We go the extra smile.